My honorable chairman, the national secretary for Afenifere Renewal Group in Nigeria, Mr. Afolabi, they give us the current affairs perspective. You got the academic perspective from Professor Adesomi and the DG, Dipo Famakiwa. So they left me with nothing, and the radical point of view from Showore. So where are we going? I'm just going to touch a little bit of, I'm not going to try and go over what people have already spoken, and more so that we are out of time. But I want to touch a little bit of everything, and then to see how it affects us and where are we headed right now. I think that's actually the point. From time immemorial, Yoruba has never been want of leadership. We have leaders. We've always had leaders. When the Europeans, the Romans, the Greek were building their world cities, we were building world cities in Yoruba land. We have empires, we built empires. Yoruba ni mo lọ sẹ́yìn odi. Ibi tá kọ́ wall wá sí, when you are going behind the walls, ibẹ̀ ni language pé mo lọ sẹ́yìn odi ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. We built civilization. So, but what has been our major problem is leadership management. Báwo la ṣe manage our leaders wa? Ìyẹn ló wà Jermaine. I think that's why we are here. When we are talking about Yoruba, look at the topic. Beyond 2015, we have to look at Yoruba within the context and outside of the context of Nigeria. Before we joined Nigeria, we know what we were able to do. What are some of the problems we had? What are the successes? Our Afenifere story, what is leadership problem. How we got external people to come and fight us, and we lost a lot in one of our major cities. Coming to our modern time, during Awolowo, to relate more potential listening. Awolowo and Chief Akitola, they are two different people, but they complemented each other fantastically. Akitola is a man of the masses.
An orator.
He was an orator. He talks. He has the charisma of talking to people and do all kinds of stuff. Awolowo was more reserved. He's a planner. He does a lot of thinking and planning than talking. When we had them, we had our golden era. Between that decade of 1952 and 1962, Yoruba achieved a lot of feats. We built the first of everything. But the moment the leadership threshold of Awolowo and Akitola sets in, we had a problem. And that led to the end of Nigeria First Republic. Whatever a problem arises in the Southwest, it's always brought to a logical conclusion, and also they create a new dynamics in Nigerian system that our Yoruba will suffer at the end of the day. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tí wàhálà Akitola and Awolowo started from their Just Convention, I think it was around 62 or something. This problem spill over. What did we do? We didn't manage the leadership. Because the synergy of Awolowo and Akitola gave us the Obafemi, the television station, the this, the that. But ìjà wọn ó fọ́jú Nigeria. And how did it happen? We were not able to gather them and say, okay, how can we stop this thing? I factionalize the Awolowo group, UPGA, but I'm NCSC. Akitola went with the North, NNDP. And what did our reaction, our Yoruba, and how did we survive? Because of the alliance between Igbo people and the North, the NPC, the two federal universities, UNILAG and UI, had Igbo VCs. Even though we have been producing doctors, PhDs, 5 decades before Igbo, it is not for want of qualified people in the Southwest. Ni àwọn Igbo fi jẹ́ VC. DK was in UI, and we had Eni Njoku in University of Lagos. Enijoku was the VC, the first VC. And now, how did that went on? What happened was, the Akintola was looking at it like, okay, we are oppressed people, we are disadvantaged, and the moment they form an alliance with FBC, World Ministry of Education, Ajanwashuku was the VC. He saw that DK was the VC in Lagos and Enijoku VC in Ibadan. Our team produced graduates and professors and then we were playing the second fiddle. Ìgbà tó gba position yẹn, ó náà wá wò pé láti gba UI padà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Ó gbé Professor Saburi Bobako síbẹ̀. If we look how we suffered in Ibadan, we should have reacted better. Nígbà tí Saburi Bobako tó lọ sí láàgbẹ̀ Yorùbá didn't learn anything. And our point mo fẹ́ really mú jáde ń bẹ̀ nìyẹn. DK in Ibadan, even though we have a Chief Sunday Afolabi, I want you to follow me because but these are salient points that I need to hold so we can use it for the present. Chief Sunday Afolabi was the bossa in Ibadan. Nathaniel Adamoleku, I want a registrar in Ibadan. But gbogbo àwọn workers tó wà ní University of Ibadan were Igbo. From the low to high to everything, they were recruiting Igbo. It didn't just start today. And that is in our territory. They were recruiting Igbo people, they were filling them with that. So some of the people were now what Sunday Afolabi did was gbogbo be fraud, GBTT, DKC, OWA reporter, OWA fake news, because they were dominating us right on our own floor. Nígbà tí ó jẹ́ pé àwọn ni wọ́n ní alliance tí Yorùbá sì bí sí tán ṣe bára wọn fà. So Sunday Afolabi wá gbé as the bossa ó reveal some of the GBT DK tí ń ṣe. Àwọn Igbo lọ attack ẹ̀ ní ọ́fíìsì ẹ̀. I don't know how many of us have heard this story. Wọ́n ṣá ní àdá lórí. Ìgbà kan ṣá ní àdá lórí, wọ́n á ní kó gbé lọ sí UCH. They took him to UCH. It became a crisis. They took him to UCH. DK wanted to silence him by all means. Who said the note? See Dr. Tomatrite, who was supposed to be one Dr. Udeku. Unfortunately, the person that took that letter, there is another Dr. Odeku, went and delivered the letter to Odeku instead of Udeku. Wọ́n signed the note actually láti ẹ̀dínlẹ́tì ẹ̀sẹ̀ Afolabi tó ṣe kú lọ́ndà kìíní ẹ̀ kẹ́lẹ́ mọ́bí tí struggle wá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. So when the note got to Odeku bá reveal nǹkan tí Dike send. So our more implication, our complacency within our system, the crisis, the University of Ibadan. Our Prof. Limajemilari was a student there at the time that I'm talking about. It became a crisis. We didn't see how we could, see that oppression in our own system, even though we have more qualified people, has affected us over the ages. And we are not using that history, not to calibrate history. We are still making the same mistake of not managing our leadership. Look at what happened in University of Ibadan. When Akinjide got there, Akinjide was in the same party with Akintola and the rest of them. But look, they wanted something better for Yoruba people. But I like the central interest. That is why I love what my sister talked about, that there is no Yoruba soul. We need to converge ourselves on those other interests. But is it the one that DG people talked about, or something different? I think it's something different at this point. Yes, that's where we are headed. Everything that's spoken about is where we are headed. But at this point, what we needed right now, before we even get to that place, is what we need to do. Akinjide stood his ground. Your Saburi Bobako, they wanted him for the second term. But Saburi Bobako, you banner and you say, pé báwo la ṣe máa ní university federal university méjì Ìbàdàn ẹ̀wọ̀n ìgbòdì méjèèjì àdè láwọn èèyàn tó qualify. But kò tí ì dì máa wọ̀nyẹn wá nú, did you know that Some of the people, the guy that went and stabbed Saburi Bobaku when he was delivering his inaugural lecture was a Yoruba guy, Kayode Adams. Because it was a crisis. Àwọn Igbo pariwo ẹni jókòó ajé èèyàn lórúkọ ẹlẹ́yìn tó gbé wáyé. And then we had Saburi Bobaku. When Saburi Bobaku was delivering his lectures, a Yoruba guy named Kayode Adams went to the podium and stabbed him in the back. Igbe lórí crisis yẹn, they sponsor a Yoruba guy to attack a Yoruba guy for taking over the VC of University of Lagos from an Igbo guy. Owó ẹ̀ ló ṣẹlẹ̀ nísìnyí. What do I see when I say àwọn èèyàn we are trying to relate Buhari? Kò sí orúkọ tí wọ́n pè àwọn ọba ọkọ, kò sí orúkọ tí wọ́n pè àwọn ẹgbẹ́ àṣìyàn. Ikọ̀ alátẹnujẹ Afẹ́nifẹ́ bí lòlẹ̀ ni wọ́n alájẹ ni wọ́n àìlò ẹ̀rọ. We don't get it. Others don't do that. Nǹkan bá wá ṣe each time the crisis bá ti wà ní pé Yorùbá don't have the central team. You are becoming a new Nigeria that has no soul. And I pray our in the first republic, I pray our see SSC and the NBC and the central team. This one too, I think we pray our story Jonathan and Buhari. What about us? How do we manage our leaders? I have to lead that automatic belief you know it. Anybody told to follow line and then follow the power. I saw that I have to do something small. It doesn't make sense. Everybody, whatever they bring to the table, let's take it because our mother has no one now. They are not that close to go tell leadership. But the movement central interest, they fought a war, they lost about 2 million people, so they know. If we are endangered people in Nigeria, who go everyone around, people don't want to shut down because you don't have some money in bank account, so you go talk to the land. To Balo, how much you get for that? You don't think that, go see that. No matter what, when you go to the north, most of them did not want Buhari to become the president. But the moment they know that we want this power, and it must come to us, to go on, be fully aligned and compliant. Imagine Muazu, who was the chairman of PDP, was basically working for an opposition party. Even Sambo ní audacity láti wá sọ fún wa ọ̀gá election pé òun fẹ́ kí Buhari win owó àlá tó fẹ́ Buhari to win as a northern. That's how they reason. Because the local movement Nigeria is broken up. Àwọn máa suffer. But kí ló drive ní Yorùbá? What is driving us? I don't know it. Asoko, àwọn ọba yàrá tó ń jẹ, àwọn ọba yẹn we have to know what they bring to the table. Look, if you tell me pé Jonathan marginalized us. Wọ́n fún wa ní kankan. Àbínú ó fún tó kò ní business ní billion kó máa monitor kìíní this Jonathan is an agent. Ó wá gbé fún Gàdá Adams. Ó wá gbé àbí alátọ̀gbẹ́ Gàdá Adams. Ó wò ilé. Kò ó ṣòwò tó ní náà. So we are one company. Tó bá fún èmi ò care. It's giving to Yorùbá guy that money will be spent in our economy. So the way I look at it is that at every point in time, we must look at what is our central interest. What is somebody bringing to the table? And that is the challenge of our Afenifere Renewal group. Because I don't want to go over. Guys, a lot of people are going to rest of since now I'm showing you so go down here. I'm just going to let it go. But the challenge of Afenifere Renewal group is how do we make Yoruba land work within the context of Nigeria right now? At least because I should learn about what we do. Down the road, we might be driving at a point of regional autonomy. But right now, how do we make this country work? We cannot afford Latin is not even our tradition. Nígbà tí mo ka àwọn ọ̀pọ̀ táwọn èèyàn kọ nípa àwọn tó ṣe meeting plan ara ní gbóná ni because the meeting was not designed to be like that nígbà báwa yìí. I know how we had meeting tẹ wá síbí the meeting was originated from here. We motivated that meeting. Unfortunately, it was hijacked because of Falaye. But then, I will show maybe a way with the bad philosopher. There is always something to be taken from these other people. Because they paid their dues when it was necessary. The failure of those guys to to take our line and work with opposition like our Jonathan and our Kenya, it's failure of you. Ego, it's your failure. It's your failure. See, Jonathan buys 100 million. Okay, I have about 41 million. You know, because there is a way we have to make the job of each time. The leadership will actually manage for them to work together. Do bad and lose. And while I invest so much in education, our parents were not tired of reading one. The matter of how to about you don't want to educate them. It's not about that education. It's about that's not here in the north. They keep their money there. They put them in trade. One to see one to see that, one to see Cameroon to the market. Our parents were not rookie. One last June, one let's set up our system. So the bastardization of education, who's losing the more? That is our investment. We, in the context of Nigeria today, our language. And see, I think I give up. We are giving up on our people because the sense there is this. Unless you work together, check go, DG lawyer. Those are the things we are going to build on. Seek you the political freedom first, and everything will be added onto it. That will be a shame. No matter how we sit down here and say, we want to build this, we want to the federal government. No matter what we do in Nigeria. Federal government Nigeria design curriculum for education. I want to go there to Southwest. Federal government of Nigeria supervises every aspect of our life until we sit down and get a monotype. We had a meeting down sorry, okay, what is Yoruba taking away from Buhari and supporting? I was in the meeting at Renewal Road with our Ashwaju and everybody were there. I said, okay, man, we are supporting. What have you extracted from me? What are the promises for Yoruba interest? 1 year, come out with the regional integration. What is my talking about it? And I know, I'm convinced that I'm standing down here that Buhari will not touch any devolution of power with 100 feet pole. If we are busy fighting our we are poking fingers in our faces because chiefs ó dàbí pé kí n bì nígbà tí mo ń kà abẹ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ojú wọn la ṣe bú àwọn bàbá tí wàá pàlájẹ ní wọn náà ojú wọn la ṣe bú àwọn bàbá yẹn 80 years old kí ni bàbá wọn nígbà tí àwọn sọ̀rọ̀ yìí pé ìgbà tí ọba Akíolú tó yarí fún wọn táwọn sọ fún ọgbà ọba Akíolú yarí fún yín wọn ní ṣe báwa náà pé àwọn bàbá kó nira ní wọn first time wọn kà mí mọ́kànlá because wait till wọn kà mí mọ́kànlá and it's true we had our people torí pé kíkú àrídèdè bẹ́ẹ̀ à ń bú àwọn ikọ̀ tí Yorùbá hold there our traditional institutions our elders and our everything wọ́n máa ṣẹ̀ wá and I know that wọ́n lè má fall within what we want now we have to learn to manage leadership in Yoruba land and this time we have failed to manage our leadership we have suffered and put Nigeria in problem. The second republic too collapsed because of crisis from Yoruba land lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Abiola. Awolowo àti Akintola ló collapse Nigeria first. Second republic ọ̀rọ̀ Abiola ló collapse Nigeria. Ilé ìta ń lọ yá àmọ́ bí tá ń bá lọ. You cannot give up. You cannot tell us pé parí ìjà lè má parí ìjà but create a new structure. Create a new structure tí everybody alẹ́ appeal sí because gbogbo ṣe sọ lẹ́yìn pé tí dípò sọ pé wọ́n pe meeting kan wọ́n wá àti gbọ́ from the other side. Professor Adeboye wọlé bá fi gbé ẹran sọ̀rọ̀ fún yín bẹ̀tẹ̀ àrí ara wa náà wáyé we brought Dr. Awolowo here ó nígbà táwọn fẹ́ ṣe unity forum yẹn àwọn yìí bá ti aṣíwájú Yorùbá pé instead wọn lọ create Yorùbá assembly wọn ní ẹ̀yìn pé Yorùbá assembly lẹ́yìn náà máa ń bí fásitì pé ṣàkóso àwọn àti pé nǹkan to bring Yorùbá together that people so everybody ló bí tiẹ̀ kò sẹ́ni tó bítà we talk to everybody we brought Gani Adams here we brought Bode George here those are bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe báyìí náà sọ̀rọ̀. We brought everybody here because it's about Yoruba people. They give up. But Afenifere Renewal group who are strategically positioned because I don't know what you guys have been doing. Because it was scientific Ogun torí bẹ́ẹ̀ ní dípọ̀ṣẹ̀ lọ tó kó science is only bọ́ọ̀dù lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. The Yoruba Academy, you do a lot of research. Gbogbo ilé ìtẹ́sẹ̀ lórí immigration to Yoruba land, we're not that good, which is very good. But the practicality of it, the practical politics of Yoruba land is not going to be sustained on that. Until one day we continue to do that, I'm very sorry, this I'm passionate about this. Sherry, cabinet, the guy doesn't care about you. The first, I want position tell me more as key positions, local government senior. Ministers can be for one state, so there are no Joro and there will be on the south, anti-south, people that their establishment will not even. I know Fashola and the Fayemi will not have been Lasiwaju's candidates looking at Southwest and from what I know, we don't know what is going on here in the room of power, but we can say that it's confidence. Ogbonna is not Igbo of excellence. Chiblai Muhammad, what that is going to do is that it's going to create a kind of divide and rule. People who does not subscribe to the authority of their immediate environment and report only to Buhari made people. At the end of the day, we'll come back to survive it. We have to find a way to work together. Thank you very much.